So something to work on, and one thing that I was struggling with this winter was just fastball command early in the game, and so I really had to develop another strategy when the fastball's not there, you got to throw something else. So it forced me to throw a lot of off-speed pitches early in the game, which normally you'd like to get through the first time through the lineup using your fastball, but it's not always going to be there, and you got to adapt and be able to pitch off of an off-speed pitch sometimes. So that's just one thing that I was working on this off-season, just because at that time that's what I was struggling with. During the season, it could be anything.
And do you feel like that's improved?
That
improved? Aspect of the game.
Yeah, it gave me a confidence just knowing that I could still compete and get outs using a curveball or using just my changeup or using a combination of the two, maybe even the cutter. And because a lot of times when guys lose confidence in their fastball, they lose confidence in everything. Because usually you pitch, typically and ideally you want to pitch off your fastball. So being able to throw that out the window in some games and just use off speed, it definitely helped.
What was it like being MVP?
It's an honor. Thankful for the opportunity to be put in that situation. But there's a number of guys that could have easily won it. Ray's home run. I mean that basically was the go-ahead, the deciding factor in Game 5. I think Lou had a hit every game in the playoffs. So it's a team sport. I just happened to have my name be put up for MVP, and I was thankful for that, but couldn't have done that without my teammates. There was a number of guys that stepped up and had huge roles throughout the playoffs.
You talk about having these other pitches to rely on. When did you add the last new pitch to your repertoire?
I added a cutter probably a month into the season last year. It was probably towards the end of May, mid-May. I added a cutter, just talking to Fook, and we had talked about it a little bit at the end of 2012, maybe adding a cutter in there, and he just came up to me at when he felt it was right to start working on that pitch, see what I thought about it, and I was like, yeah, sure, why not? There's not many guys that throw 4 pitches or have command of 4 pitches, and I feel like that's something I can do pretty well. The changeup I developed in 2012 and really took off for me last year. And I think that's one thing that helped step my game up, is adding that changeup and then the cutter a little bit into the season.
And how hard it is after so many years of pitching to just do that? Well, I'm just going to add a new pitch this year.
It's very difficult. I mean, it's difficult to command one pitch. And as a starting pitcher, you need to have more than 1 or 2 pitches. So it's a difficult task to try to maintain and be consistent with 3, 4 pitches. But I love the challenge of it, and I like being in control of a game and being able to go out there and try to compete against one guy trying to get a hit off you. So, and then you got defense behind you making great plays and stuff. It makes it fun.
For those first-year players just joining the Ducks, if they asked you for advice on being successful with the team, what would that advice be?
Everybody's been around, at this level's been around for a while, so they know how to conduct themselves as professionals for the most part. You don't really need to give anybody advice on how to carry themselves. Guys just might want to know what the league's like, what the competition's like, how certain hitters are, because there's a lot of players back from the past few years. So that's the only kind of advice you're really going to give anybody, how to attack a certain hitter or what kind of pitches a certain pitcher has on another team. But everybody's been around, so they know what they're doing. We're all grown men, and just everybody just does their own thing, and just be a good teammate and have fun.
And any message for the fans at home for the home opener?
Just come out and visit. It's going to be the ring ceremony from last year's championship, and support the team. We've got great fans up here, and let's get it started early.